Oklahoma is a state of geographic extremes and widely varying climate zones. To this day, northeast Oklahoma actively works to prevent flooding, while the southern plains remain desperate for rain. Legislators have aimed to balance these extremes by building pipelines that transfer water to drier areas inside and outside the state. The history of attempting to divert water from Sardis Lake demonstrates the technical, intergovernmental, and political complexity of these plans. Sardis Lake is a man-made reservoir. In the 1970s, the current lake bed was home to the small town of Sardis. The issues of flooding from Jack Fork Creek and the promise of economic growth that the water source would bring led to the construction of a dam, the evacuation of Sardis, and the creation of a lake. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers paid for the costly construction with the understanding that it would be repaid via the state's revenues from selling the water to nearby cities and private groups. The state was unable to follow through with its original agreement and became delinquent on its payments in the mid-1990s. Oklahoma legislators have sought buyers outside of the southeast region in any attempt to pay back the outstanding debt. 3 separate water transfer plans have been drafted, each of which was rejected because of opposition from southeast Oklahoma citizens, tribal nations, and the Oklahoma Water Resources Board. One of the groups that emerged to oppose the transfer plans is ORWP, or Oklahomans for Responsible Water Policy. ORWP is comprised of citizens from the southeast region who advocate for sustainability and scientific understanding before the creation of policy. They also participated in the 2001 Supreme Court case banning Texas's rights to water from Sardis. Tribes in Oklahoma have also raised concerns about water rights related to Sardis Lake. About 200 years ago, the federal government allotted the 14,360 acres Sardis Lake occupies to the Choctaw and Chickasaw Indian nations. Despite their historical claim, these nations have not been consulted or compensated for the use of Sardis. Plans for negotiations between tribal leadership and the OWRB have been tenuous, pending on the other vested interests surrounding the water. Today, the state of Oklahoma, the Choctaw and Chickasaw nations, and the city of Oklahoma City are in federal court, fighting over the rights to water in Sardis Lake. But negotiations are ongoing in an attempt to settle the competing claims. Oklahoma legislators continue to look for creative solutions to balance their obligations to the federal government, Native American tribes, and other states while meeting the needs of Oklahomans. However, as this example shows, the process of negotiating these claims is difficult and complex.